Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man. I know, but.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is OOleksandr Usyk.
Number 1 and number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken, like, all right, who's the next in line? All right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
Alexander Usyk took a confident jab at Floyd Mayweather during a live interview, claiming he has faced top-tier opponents throughout his career and still come out victorious. He went further, saying that even at this stage in his career, he believes his footwork is superior to Mayweather's. While the remark carried a hint of humor, it also served as a bold statement about Usyk's world-class conditioning and the caliber of challenges he's conquered to reach the pinnacle of the sport.
Please don't be afraid.
Good evening, hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. OOleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Terry is great player, but hey, Terry, my legs be better with you.
Terry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
As Alexander Usyk approaches the final chapter of his boxing career, only 2 fights remain before his retirement. This has sparked major excitement across the boxing world. Fans, analysts, and fellow fighters are closely watching his every move. Given his legendary resume, whoever steps into the ring with him next will share in the spotlight. The buzz around his remaining bouts is intense, with audiences eager to witness how a generational great chooses to end his remarkable journey.
Usyk, that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
So he's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, which is just a disgrace, it's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Anytime soon, no. But hopefully we'll get some peace there, and then maybe he will get
I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to see peace in his country and for him and his family. And that would be an amazing event.
As Alexander Usyk approaches the final stretch of his legendary career, several potential opponents have been in discussion. But now the WBO has officially ordered him to defend his undisputed heavyweight title against interim champion Joseph Parker. The matchup is gaining serious traction, with both camps given 30 days to strike a deal before a purse bid is enforced. Parker's recent wins over Deontay Wilder and Martin Bacol have boosted his credibility, earning praise from fans, analysts, and boxing greats like Lennox Lewis. Promoter Frank Warren has also thrown his support behind the fight, calling it the ideal challenge for Usyk before he exits the sport.
My gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Alexander Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Alexander Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened.
He has openly expressed his admiration for Usyk and his strong interest in facing him in the ring. To him, Usyk is more than just a dominant champion. He represents a defining figure of this boxing era. Apatai's eagerness to challenge such a legend highlights the deep impact Usyk has had on the next generation of fighters. A bout between them would be both meaningful and competitive, bridging 2 eras of boxing excellence.
I know a goal of yours is to go to heavyweight. You're giving me a little smirk. Like, is that like a dream scenario for you to fight one of those two guys?
I would love to fight Usyk, you know, respectfully. You know, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was, but I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like I've always been there. You know what I mean? I've always just been. It wasn't my time yet, you know, but I feel like my time's coming.
Oleksandr Usyk has built an extraordinary legacy by consistently taking on the toughest opponents in the heavyweight division. Unlike many champions who stayed in lighter weight classes, Usyk moved up and refused to take easy fights. Instead, he chased the most dangerous challenges available. Analysts have called this move not just courageous, but historic. His 2 victories over Tyson Fury, once considered nearly invincible, serve as a clear testament to Usyk's dominance at the highest level of the sport.
Is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
What sets Usyk apart from his peers isn't just his undefeated record, it's how he earned it. He never shied away from danger. He welcomed it. Every fight came with high stakes. Every opponent posed a real threat. Yet Usyk consistently rose to the occasion with brilliance, composure, and exceptional ring IQ. His footwork, strategy, and ability to adapt have allowed him to outshine even the biggest names in the sport. Today, Usyk's legacy goes far beyond titles. He's become a symbol of courage and mastery. In a sport where greatness is measured by the strength of one's resume, Usyk stands above most, not just for who he beat, but for the timing, risk, and execution behind every victory.
Debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now. Because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that, I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that at the time.
Floyd Mayweather has long been hailed as the pound-for-pound king of his era, renowned for his flawless technique, defensive genius, and unblemished record. His dominance across multiple weight classes firmly established him as one of boxing's all-time greats. But in today's landscape, Oleksandr Usyk has risen as a formidable modern counterpart, drawing comparisons few could have imagined. With undisputed titles in multiple divisions and victories over top-tier heavyweights, Usyk is now seen as a new-age pound-for-pound force. If a matchup between Usyk and Mayweather ever materialized, even as an exhibition, it would be more than just a spectacle. It would represent a clash of 2 iconic styles and legacies from different chapters of boxing history.
I think Floyd is one of the worst fighters ever. That's my hot take on Floyd. Now let me stop trolling. Now that I got y'all baited in. I think we always say like, oh, how great Floyd is. But when you really sit there and think about it, Floyd was really special. Like, when we talk about generational, it's going to be a very, very, very long time till we see Floyd. Like, Pernell was great. He was a great defensive wizard. Pernell trapped himself a lot, and he was able to find himself out of his own traps. Pernell would give up outside lead foot position to a lot of big punchers, and he was still able to be elusive and get away. That's impressive. Floyd would sit on the ropes against guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Cotto, and either evade every shot or get away. Generation, like, Floyd is crazy. He's not my favorite fighter. He's far from my favorite, but I mean, I think he's the best pound for pound fighter of all time. I don't think there's much debate for it. Did Floyd fight everybody he was supposed to? No, we got to be honest. He just didn't. Most people don't. Did Floyd fight everybody at their best? No, that's impossible. Was Floyd the most slippery, defensively sound, technical boxers of all time? Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not the hugest Floyd fan, but I just sit here watch him dominate my boy Canelo. You guys know Canelo, he's one of my favorite, but God, Floyd, different type of boxer, you know. We hated him when he was here. I kind of miss Floyd now.
Floyd Mayweather's legacy is built on precision, control, and flawless execution, while Oleksandr Usyk is defined by relentless movement, pressure, and razor-sharp ring IQ. Usyk's path has been one of tough battles and constant growth, never opting for the easy route. Where Mayweather displayed finesse and technical perfection, Usyk thrives in the chaos of high-risk encounters. His dismantling of Daniel Dubois was yet another example of his brilliance. Despite Dubois' raw strength and power, Usyk's superior footwork, timing, and tactical mastery completely neutralized him. It wasn't just a win. It was a strategic masterclass that proved intelligence can outmatch brute force. The victory didn't just add another name to Usyk's resume. It elevated his legacy as a fighter who consistently overcomes physical disadvantages through skill, strategy, and mental toughness.
Different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age and whatnot, you know. So you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So and you know, you had
heavyweights takes 1 second. One split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second, you know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But, you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically, you know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides to the weak side, slides to the weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. Like, you waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown. You saw his spirit leave his body. Not as if he's dying. I mean, his fighting spirit just completely leave his body. Yeah. And we've seen that before. It happened the last time, and a lot of people were asking me during fight week. They're like, "Hey, man, Dubois looks really good. What do you think?" I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Turki Usyk has emerged as a key power broker in modern boxing, widely recognized for making blockbuster matchups a reality. His influence has fueled speculation that even the most unlikely fantasy fights, like a potential Mayweather versus Usyk showdown, could actually happen. While the chances may be slim, the role of promoters with Usyk's reach and reputation can't be underestimated. If anyone has the pull to unite two icons from vastly different eras and styles in one ring, it's someone known for turning bold ideas into major global events.
Turki Usyk might be the only billionaire I truly like. Don't get me wrong, if you're a billionaire, you're probably hiding some pretty shady stuff, not gonna lie. But this dude is a G. If you know, you know. This guy is a huge combat sports fan. mostly boxing. This guy does everything he can to try and create the best boxing events in the world. Dude uses his money for the power of good by creating the most testosterone aura-filled boxing matches imaginable. And after, it seems like forever, months, maybe even years of him trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Terrence Crawford, he finally penciled it in. He got it done a couple months ago. Here's why I'm making this video. Turki Al-Sheikh, I fucking love this guy. If either one of these two guys win by knockout, he's going to give out a huge bonus to him. It's important to note that this isn't going to be like a $50,000 bonus that they have in the UFC. We're talking Saudi oil money. Expect millions and millions of dollars. This is a quote by him. We will not have Tom and Jerry fights anymore. We will have in this fight and in our next fights a bonus for a KO. Thank God. The biggest reason why I'm more of an MMA fan, and even a bare knuckle fan, than boxing is because I'm tired of the dancing. 12 rounds of just dancing. It literally puts you to sleep. And the last boxing event I paid for, I don't even remember the dude's freaking name. It was the last guy I think Canelo Alvarez fought. I don't even care to know his name. All the dude did was dance around for 12 rounds just to lose. He didn't do anything. It was one of the worst fights ever. Everybody thought they got scammed because they had to pay money for that. Even Turki Al-Sheikh was pissed. You could see it because he's done with this crap. He's done. He's finally putting an end to this. He's going to be giving out probably $1 million bonuses for every time somebody gets knocked out. Thank God. All right? Now I'm actually excited for this fight.
One of the most admired qualities in OOleksandr Usyk's career is his character. Despite collecting titles and accolades, he remains humble and grounded, a stark contrast to the showmanship often associated with fighters like Floyd Mayweather. Both fans and analysts have praised Usyk's humility, viewing it as a sign of deep respect for the sport, his opponents, and the audience. It's a rare trait among elite athletes, and one that adds authenticity to his greatness. Derek Kizoris. Comparison of Usyk to Muhammad Ali speaks volumes about his unique skill set. Usyk's agility and control mirror the grace of lighter fighters, yet he delivers it in the heavyweight division. His movement isn't just for show, it's strategic and effective. In a weight class typically dominated by raw power, Usyk's combination of intelligence and mobility offers a refreshing and rare dynamic at the highest level.
He gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where it's due. Yeah? He is that guy.
From the very beginning of his career, OOleksandr Usyk chose the hardest path. Rather than chasing easy victories, he actively sought out elite opponents, often on their home turf. He traveled across the globe, adapted to different styles, and consistently came out on top. Usyk's willingness to embrace risk and pursue greatness, even when the odds were against him, sets him apart from many champions who prefer the safer route. His story isn't one of comfort, it's a testament to courage, ambition, and relentless determination.
Drop Daniel Dubois! I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it!
It's over! Fucking greatest of all time! Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen OOleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for OOleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Alexander Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, you know, his father. I think at the time it was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Alexander Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Boxing trainer and analyst Russ Amber reflected on Usyk's mindset in his recent fight, describing it as a quiet fury. Despite all his accomplishments, Amber noted that Usyk still feels underappreciated by parts of the boxing world, especially certain voices in the British media. That feeling of being overlooked became fuel for his performance. Usyk didn't step into the ring just to win. He came to make a statement. His laser focus and calculated aggression showed that he wasn't merely defending belts. He was cementing his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of his generation.
I mean, I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, you know, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, you know, like, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, you know, more dominating each time. So, you know, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
When we spoke on Thursday, I could tell you were genuinely confident, but did you believe it could be so early and so conclusive?
No, I'd be lying to you if I said that. You know, I mean, no. I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do.